Leos, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May 9th through the 15th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Leo, this week we do have a lot of supportive aspects in the sky, as you can see here in the transit graph. It looks like a lot, but it's actually very simple. Basically, what we have is we have the Sun, Venus, and Mercury, all part of this kite, which has been in the sky. And this has been the kite involving particularly your fire houses, okay? And the strong emphasis, I think, on your ninth house, which has been the house of adventure, the house of philosophy, the house of seeing what's possible in life, which is where you had the last new moon. And so it's great this week to continue to cultivate these possibilities, this adventurous spirit, which you're learning a lot about. Mercury is retrograde here, so it is good to be adaptive. And it's good to be flexible with everything, to not get too caught up into one particular avenue, to try different things and see where it takes you. Especially because Mars is also retrograde, who rules that ninth house of yours. So you are rethinking about what's important to you in the adventurous side of life, what expands your horizons. So some new beginnings nonetheless, and I think that's very supportive with this kite. So you can see here with your fire houses with that grand trine, which is this Jupiter, who's actually going direct on Monday, is a big part of all of this. Because you guys have been reflecting over the past roughly 5 months about yourself, with Jupiter in the first house, about where you're putting your energy, about your goals, even about your aspirations. But now that energy starts to move forward. All right, so it takes time for Jupiter to gain momentum, but I think we'll feel this shift going in through the week, that there are these outward possibilities for you to expand your horizons, because Jupiter is associated with that ninth. This is seeing the possibilities to cultivate your desires, to cultivate your goals, to put yourself out there perhaps. This is the first house. It's the house of self-image. It's the house of house of self, house of our goals. And with Jupiter here, it really expands on all that. All right, it kind of makes it buoyant. And with this easy aspect, with this kite, there's a lot of support with cultivating your desires, cultivating your goals. And that's directly supporting what I think is this new take on what's possible in life. Maybe even this new take for some of you on spirituality, which is also ninth house when it's from that philosophical level. Some of you with travel, some of you with nature, that kind of stuff. So that energy moving forward with self, I think a lot of stuff you've learned about yourself will directly support that, and I think you'll feel that forward moving momentum, even though a lot of planets are retrograde. We still have Mars, Mercury, these outer planets, Jupiter going direct, but Saturn's still retrograde. So there's this still internal process to things, but I think you'll notice that shift, particularly because Jupiter's in your first. All right, so that's on Monday with that direct, and also on Monday too, the Sun is going to be conjoining up to Mercury. So you guys could be feeling perhaps a bit communicative, maybe a bit direct with your communications, or philosophical, the ninth house. All right, and so what happens with Mercury retrograde over the Sun is Mercury is engulfed by the Sun. Mercury's in front of the Sun, and we can't see Mercury in the sky. So there's a lot of, especially with your ruler and this conjunction, there's a lot of this fiery, passionate type of mental energy, fiery, passionate type of communication. So it's good to bring extra attention to that. And that's already the case because Mercury's retrograde anyways, right? But there could be insights. It's good to just have that extra attention, maybe write them down, help slow it down a little bit, and keep everything nice and tangible. And that's, again, directly supporting, though, these new shifts with self, and then also this fifth house, in fact. Pluto's been transiting your fifth house for many years, helping you transform the way you express yourself, getting rid of old attachments to your self-expression, old attachments to your interests and passions in life, these kinds of things, right? So I think it's a great week for self-expression. I think it's a great week for doing the things you're interested in and passionate about. And I think you can find that very supportive to these new unfoldments of these possibilities and this more expansive view of life. Your worldview. Your worldview is getting this dose of that top-down perspective, of possibility. So that's Monday with that Mercury Sun conjunction, that strong mental communicative energy, but yet that shift. There could even be insights during this time too. Now, one thing I do want to say with this kite is that it is forming this sextile up to Neptune. You know, it's the grand trine, but it's also this sextile up to Neptune, who's been in your 7th house. So what you'll find is that this week is very supportive for you to really have that surrender to the relationship side of things. And I think as you let go, as you have more of that surrender, faith and trust, and connect in relationships in the present moment, it can create a lot of peace, a lot of tranquility in your life. And that's been an ongoing theme, but I think that's going to be activated this week as well. Now, let's talk about this Venus-Mercury conjunction, because they're going to go conjunct as we approach the weekend. And that's what really all of this is about these two coming together in this kite. So Mercury retrograde is that you guys are not only reflecting on the possibilities, right, and rehashing, rethinking that stuff, but you're also reflecting on your aspirations with Mercury ruling your 11th, perhaps reflecting on the financial material stuff, which is good. You want to be reorganizing or redoing that stuff. Okay, but nonetheless, as we approach the weekend, you could be, in fact, enjoying some of the simple pleasures of life. Maybe some of those aspirations, maybe connecting with friends or groups. You could also be learning quite a bit about your career this week, since Venus rules your 10th. Maybe learning a bit about communication or your mind. Reading and writing could be very intellectual. You could learn a lot through that. All right, so that's the conjunction. Very powerful, and again, could be new beginnings with your outlook, with your worldview. And again, this enjoyment that can be had by expanding your horizons with Venus here in the 9th, all directly supporting all the other fire houses, which is now the slowly starting to move forward, adventurous spirit about you, with Jupiter in the 1st. Maybe a bit more of this understanding about, philosophy and spirituality and how, even releasing and detaching with that Neptune in the 7th does create more of that adventurous spirit. And then, of course, the trine up to the 5th, all this transformation occurring with how you express yourself, letting go of the old belief systems about what you enjoy in life, about your interests. Could be some deep transformations with that. So that's the kite. And then as we go into the weekend, the sun is going to be changing signs. So you guys, I think you're going to start to notice going into next week, probably more of a focus on the career side of things or on your productive life with your ruler going into that 10th. All right, so I still think things are going to be about that more, mental or wisdom, philosophical, expansive area of the 9th. But I think as you go into next week, you'll probably feel like focusing a bit more on the career stuff. And I think that's a great place for you to gain that prana, gain that energy, cultivating the productive life going into next week. All right, so Leo, have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.